massive win for Manchester City, 3-0 at Selhurst Park. A big win, a significant win. The pressure mounting on Arsenal, the gap back down to just 1-2 points. Erling Haaland with a brace. Phil Foden, there's a lot of us that need to speak about Phil Foden today. Judge Mo, you fraud. Get yourself here. I want to know. Everybody that doubted Phil Foden, get yourselves here now. Let's have a little chit chat. Let's have a little talk. The disrespect on this man's name was crazy, crazy, crazy. And Cherky, I told you last time, and I'm going to tell you again, the man is a genius. He's a master. He makes masterpieces. Every game is a masterpiece, and today was no different. We're talking the Tyne Weird Derby. As Newcastle lose to Sunderland, the Black Cats with a massive victory at the Stadium of Light, and Tottenham Hotspur today smashed 3-0 away at Nottingham Forest. A bad day for Thomas Frank, a bad day for Tottenham. But as ever, look, I want your thoughts, I want your opinions. Can't wait to read some of your comments back. But listen, like the video if you haven't done so already. Get yourselves subscribing to the channel as well. But that was massive. That was huge from a City point of view. Absolutely gargantuan. And City made a statement today. City laid down a marker today. It was only 3 games ago that City went through a series of games, one in the Champions League against Bayer Leverkusen, and then against Leeds United and Fulham, where they conceded 8 goals in those 3 games. And people ask me, Terry, do you think City can win the league? Not with a defence like that. Not leaking goals in that manner. It's impossible. It cannot be done. The 3 games since then, and I know Palace created chances today, and I'm going to get into that. So don't write that in the comment section. Oh, they conceded opportunities. Palace do that. Palace are a top team. To have 2 clean sheets and only 1 goal conceded in those 3 games, which consist of going away to Real Madrid and away to Crystal Palace, is brilliant. I don't think this Manchester City team is at their formidable best. And what I mean by that is at their absolute peak best that we've seen under Pep. Okay, they're not there. And I don't think even the biggest hardcore City fan would make that argument. But they're growing, they're getting better, and they are scary. Point blank. Phil Foden is back to his best. Cherky is a genius. The team is starting to tick. There's goals throughout the team. They're now starting to get more and more clean sheets and look better and better defensively. Even away at a place like Palace, which is so hard to play at, so difficult to get wins. Only, 3 teams in the calendar year have won there? Only 3 teams. This is not an easy place to go. City have, I think, 4 very winnable fixtures coming up. Very, very winnable fixtures. They're putting that pressure upon Arsenal. Arsenal's level is going to have to go up. But my word, this City team, as I said, is getting scarier, is becoming scarier and scarier as the weeks go on. And there's one thing I pushed back against a few weeks ago, and I thought it was just very similarly to how, I hear nonsense narratives about Arsenal. I've heard nonsense narratives this week about Mo Salah. I had the same energy for Man City on a few things. But one of the biggest things I pushed back against, and I'm going to reiterate it again today, this idea that they can't just rely on Haaland's goals. Yes, I understand Haaland scored 2 of the goals today. But first of all, you've got to look at who creates these opportunities and chances. That ball into the box from Nunez was astounding. Haaland doesn't score that goal without that quality of ball. The second goal, obviously, Phil Foden buries it. But the majority of the work done by Cherky and Phil Foden, those 2 are starting to purr. They're starting to be influential on the field of play. And they're building up a really good relationship. Of course, you've got Erling Haaland as well that is going to score those goals. But as an overall team, Donnarumma in goal today. Listen, people have messaged me saying he made loads of mistakes. I just watched another top-class goalkeeping performance. There's a reason, by the way. So my dog's just going crazy. I wonder what that was. Somebody must have come near my front door. That's what he's there for, though. He's a guard dog. So from my point of view, I look at this and think to myself, why teams in the last, why did why did Palace today struggle to score when they had opportunities? Snatching at chances, panicking at chances. And yes, they might have built up 2xG throughout the course of the game. But so many of the chances were like low value opportunities, very hard goals to score. And that's because even when they broke City's lines, the defenders just did enough to push them into harder positions. The goalkeeper did enough to rush the shot. And that, for me, is a sign of a very, very potent team. And when City were at their best, when Liverpool were at their best, they make teams rush their chances. They make teams panic when they have opportunities. And I saw that today. And that's been missing when teams have played City for the better part of 12 to 15 months. And I'm just starting to notice that coming back. Now, we can wax lyrical about Erling Haaland. We know what a threat he is. We know how dangerous he is. We know how hard he is to stop. We know what a phenomenal player this man is. We all know that. We can go on about it. We can talk about it, etc., etc. I've run out of things to say when it comes to praising Erling Haaland. All I'm going to do is keep repeating the same thing. The best finisher to ever play in English football. That's it. The best goal scorer, the best finisher that's ever played in English football. I'm not talking about what they did before English football and after English football. I'm talking about what they did whilst they were here. He's the best. We've had Harry Kane. We've had Wayne Rooney. We've had Thierry Henry, Cristiano Ronaldo, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Andy Cole. I'm forgetting names. Ian Wright, Drogba's, Bergkamp's, and there's elements of their games that are better. Yes, we can have those conversations and debates, but I don't want to. When it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net, nobody comes close. He's the man. But I want to put Haaland aside for a moment. I've mentioned them already. I'm going to say it again. Phil Foden, stand up. I don't want Man City to do well. I think every Man United fan who prefers Liverpool or City winning a league title over Arsenal, because they're the only three teams that I think in the last few years have conceivably been able to do it. Any Man United fan that thinks that way, I'll be honest with you, I think you're a disgrace to our football club. How could you put a lesser rival above our two biggest rivals? I don't understand it. How could you put, especially City this year, where Pep closing in on more and more records, more and more titles, challenging the status of our greatest manager just for social media banter? You'd rather City win it over Arsenal. I think you're a disgrace to Manchester United Football Club. Every single one of you. Don't care if you're born in London. Oh, my friends are Arsenal fans. Shut the fuck up. Back your club. But one thing I did defend City on last year is the ridiculous slander, the ridiculous bullshit, the ridiculous takes I heard about Phil Foden. He did have a bad year by his standards and by everybody's standards. But I heard people went as far as to say that it undone all the great work that came before it. And what I've told you about this man, when it comes to any conversations with, at the time, with Rashfords and Sakas and all the other names in between, I put Foden top. Because what I saw this man do in title runs, cup runs, Champions League runs is deliver and score massive goals and create massive goals that led his team to winning trophies. That, for me, is one of the biggest pillars of creating legacy in the game. And Phil Foden has legacy above and beyond most active players in the Premier League. This season, he's come back alive. This season, he's back to his very best. In the last month or so, he started to add the goals back into his game alongside those performances. And Phil Foden today was majestic on every single level. He was everywhere on the pitch. Left, right, central. Sometimes it was just little one touches, little layoffs to his teammates. Other times it was driving with the ball. And then there's the goal. A very, very interesting point in the game where Palace are applying the pressure and they create that opportunity, creates that half space on his left foot, bang, into that bottom corner. Absolutely fantastic on every single level. So Phil Foden, this is why I said that one anomaly, one bad year doesn't undo all that work. He'll find his feet again, and he is. He's every bit as good as anybody has ever said that the man was. He is at that level, and Foden deserves a tremendous amount of credit. Everyone that was going in on him last year, shame on you. Shame on you. And now I want to speak on Cherki. I was so desperate for Man United to buy this player. And there was a lot of nonsense being discussed in the summer. Oh, he can't be that good if he's 30 million euros. Is the typical response I expect from football fans who don't understand transfers. And do you want to know how you know if somebody doesn't understand transfers? If they use net spend, instantly stop fucking listening to them. Just stop listening to them, because that isn't how transfers work. If you're purely judging good and bad quality on the price tag on net spend, you're a moron from outer space. Cherki was available so cheaply because of financial situations at his club and pre-existing agreements. It's as simple as that. It wasn't amazing negotiations from City, and it wasn't a sign of a lack of quality. Cherki is a genius. He's an artist. And he sees things in games. There was a pass in the first half that he played over the top that was well defended, very, very well defended by, I want to say it was Richards that defended it. But he just sees opportunities and openings before 95% of his teammates on the pitch. But what Cherki has the ability to do is to pull off the pass needed. So you might have players that have that vision and they play a part, but they have nowhere near the ability to play it, so they just don't. There are often players, and my dad taught me this when I was a young man, sometimes smart players, and you'll see Cherki do this in his career. He'll play a ball sometimes, and the fans might go, "Why'd you play that? Nobody's running there." It's because he's seen the opening. The problem is his vision is so far ahead of all of his teammates, they often won't see it. But he just creates wonderful pictures on the football pitch. He creates wonderful moments. He breaks lines. He can glide past players. There's something I think about Cherki I absolutely love. It's why I wanted Man United to invest in him. I'm so pissed off and I'm so jealous that City have got him. It's taken him a little bit of time this season to get in full flow, get into his flow state because of the injury in the early part of the campaign. But there's no surprise to me that as he's regained full match fitness, as he's started to purr, City have gone up a level. Him and Phil Foden finding their feet alongside the goals and the streak that Haaland's on. There's no surprise to me that City have gone up to this next level. I think they both deserve a tremendous amount of credit. They're in this title race, whether people like it or not. They are this close to Arsenal. There is a hair's breadth between them. Both in terms of, a lot of people are going to do the atypical because it gets you get those shit comedians that they're not very good at telling jokes. So what they'll do is they'll go on stage in the right place and just go, "Oh, fuck Donald Trump." By the way, I'm not defending or hating on him. And then the crowd goes, "Yeah." It's like a really cheap laugh. It's like, well, it's not really a joke, is it? That's how I view people that go, "I think Arsenal might bottle it." They sound like hillbillies. They just sound really, really dumb. This isn't about bottling it. This is about two very good teams being exceedingly close. Both have had some poor periods so far in the season, and they're coming out the end of that neck and neck. There is 2 points in it. There's one defeat, essentially, or one draw in this. And how massive and how important was that goal last night for Arsenal to get them the win? Villa coming from behind today, City dominating Crystal Palace. Arsenal would be sitting second place with Villa a point behind them had that not gone in. That's why I couldn't believe Gooners weren't celebrating that moment, because I still think Arsenal are going to get back to their very best this year. But equally, we can see City looking amazing as well. We have got a title race on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. We should all be excited about this. We shouldn't be trying to write any. For me, anyway, I ain't writing no one off. I don't want no one written off. I don't want anybody falling away. I don't want a one-horse fucking race. I want Arsenal to win it over City. Of course I do. No real Man United fan would say otherwise. If you do, you're a disgrace. Why would you want a lesser rival to win it over a bigger rival? I don't understand it. Proper weird to me. But each to their own. What a title race we've got on our hands. Listen, like, share, and subscribe. But City, well done to you. Let's have a look at some of these comments that have come in here, because I haven't gone to them yet. Palace as bad as Arsenal going forward. Game should have been over at half-time. Pino is a League One player at best. Shocking performance. Look, I'll be honest with you. I saw it differently. I didn't see that they were that much of a threat today, Palace. The Pino chance, you actually watch it back, he was offside anyway. So it was irrelevant to me. You see the still shot, he's offside. So I thought, irrelevant. And they had loads of like half opportunities where Sarr gets the ball out wide, but he's forced out wide by the defender, really acute angles. For me, no gilt edge. I think they might have had one big chance in the game, and that was the Pina shot. But that's only because the flag didn't go up. VAR would have ruled that off. They didn't create gilt edge chances today, Palace. Loads of pop shots. Wharton had a good shot from distance that hit the post. That's it. It was nothing. For someone who wanted City to lose, I wasn't sitting going, missed opportunity. What I saw more today was Palace, bad touches, bad final balls, terrible decision-making in the final third. Sarr went through 2 or 3 times. He was either offside or his first touch was so heavy, it made his shot or cross hard. I didn't look at that as opportunity. That was opportunities, but I don't look at those as chances. There were opportunities for chances. They were poor, but I put a lot of that on the way City played. I give a lot of credit to City on that one, my friend. I said it yesterday, Arsenal will crumble under City pressure, and Arsenal fans deflected by talking about my profile picture, serial bottlers. See, this is the thing for me, though. I probably should say Arsenal are bottling it, because then I can say, well, City only won the league because Arsenal bottled it. But that won't be true, will it? I'm going to give credit where credit is due. If City win this league title, it's because they've been better than Arsenal. That's it. And some will say, there was a 5-6 point gap. There was a point this season where City had a 3-point gap over them. Depends on when you want to start drawing that line from, right? I mean, go right back to 15 games ago. Everyone was level on points. But for me, I'm not taking anything away from Manchester City. I'm not taking anything away from the development of this team. Some will, and that's fair, because it's all about banter. Do your thing. Do your thing. Villa are not good for my health. Great game that was today. I mean, I don't understand how all 4 of those games are on at the same time. We don't know who does the scheduling in this country. They've got to actually employ someone with a fucking brain. How can you have the time where derby, Palace versus City, Forest Spurs, and Villa versus West Ham all on at the same time? And what game's on now? No fuckers watching it. It's ridiculous. More people here than watching the game now. Jokers, bruv. And he ain't kicked off quite yet, but you know my point. City beat the last 2 teams with the best defense easy. I agree. They did. They did very, very well indeed. A majority of Palace's chances offside first half. Now, James, I agree. I think people are clutching at straws here. They're clutching at straws. It's one of those things, actually. Like, happened to Man United the other day. People are like, still conceded too much XG, considering it was against this team and that team. I went, yeah, but one of their chances... it was against Palace. The one big chance in the first half they had against us, outside the penalty, was where Mateta barged into the chest of De Ligt and knocked him down. And I looked at it, my view is VAR would have overturned the goal. But because it wasn't given in real time, the XG and the chance stands. So I feel that the stats today are manipulative in the sense of that big Yeremy Pino chance was clearly offside. Quite a few of their chances were offside, but because they scuffed their shots and the goalie picked it up, the game wasn't stopped for offside. It was play on, so therefore the chance remains. It was Fugazi. It was Fugazi, in my opinion. The Arsenal fans are bottling it. Just look at the chat. So hard to win this kind of atmosphere around the club. Our fan base is filled with pussies. I will be honest with you. I said this last night, and I don't want to go too much into Arsenal, but obviously you've super chatted. I won't disrespect the super chat. But the fans have just got to show some chest here and support. They've got to. They've got to. We were talking about this last night, and it's interesting because as a Man United fan, we've been shit for 13 years. But I don't remember being in a title race that I, 1, didn't feel confident in, and 2, if we failed, my view is always next year, though, we'll get it. Because that's how my lifespan of title races have been. Theirs is so different. I think Liverpool fans are a little bit like Arsenal fans when they're in title races. Does that make sense? When there's an actual race, they've got such a bad track record in title races. They sort of, the old arsehole goes, and they shy away from it. Where I find Man United and Man City fans, I know we haven't been in one for a long time, but I think the fan reaction to being in a race would be very different because of, I think it's PTSD. Genuinely, I think it's PTSD. They've got to come out and support their team here. Show a bit of chest. I agree, 100%. 100%. But there we go. January onwards is City's time, is what low-fat Mofat says here. It could be. City can win this league. if they maintain their defensive stability that we've seen in the last 3 matches, they can. I go back 3 games ago. That City was switching off in the second half. They were easy to play through. Something's clicked. Now, does that... Look, if you don't think that's going to remain, say some in the comment section. Feel free to. But it's the one thing, the reason why I was saying I didn't think City could win the league, they were just too leaky at the back. That stopped in the last couple of weeks. It's just stopped. And now they've got some really winnable games. Arsenal not playing well. Can they turn it around? Can City overtake them during the festive period? We've got a brilliant Christmas ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Merry fucking Christmas, you filthy animals. It's going to be amazing. Palace have never won a game after a Conference League game. People thought City were going to lose. About time we had a 3-horse race. 3-horse race? I don't think... I'll be honest with you. I might sound harsh. I don't think Villa will maintain this level. I do think Villa will have a drop-off. But I wouldn't mind. It would be great with a 3-horse race. And then hopefully Villa would win it. Because, they're an even lesser rival. Of course. That'd be amazing if Unai Emery won it just for the conversations. I mean, I'd be in the mud because I don't think he's got the bottle for it. But we'll see. We'll see. Football is honestly finished. Clubs now don't themselves have ambition to win the league title and are just fine with City winning the league again. Maybe you want your club to win. Real losers are these lot. I don't know what you mean, mate. Sorry, maybe it's my dyslexia when I'm reading that. Let me read that again. Football is honestly finished. Clubs now don't themselves have ambition to win the title, and they are just fine with City winning it again. Who? You've got to be specific here. Who? You don't think Arsenal are trying to win the league? You don't think Liverpool spending £450 million was to retain the title? You don't think Villa, whether you think they're going to... You don't think Villa are trying to win the league? Who are you talking about, Sid? My old pedigreed chum. Come on. Now, this is it. Terry's sucking off Arsenal again. Okay, so what is the whole spent $1 billion and won nothing? You don't think they've spent all that money to try and win the league? You don't think Arsenal are trying to win the league? Is that the new narrative? Where's that narrative come from? If that's what you think, just say it. I think they are trying to win the league. But there we go. Did United ever have 4 consecutive years during those title times of saying next year is our year? No, and that's the point, Jonathan. That's the point I'm making. I think you guys have got to break a habit. And just, even if you're feeling like you're panicking, don't show your team. Even if you feel like losing your heads, don't show your team. Project positivity. Just do it. That's what I would do. Just saying. History tells us Arsenal will crumble equals bottlers. So do you think they're the favourite? So Ginger Bish, do me a favour, because entitled your opinion. What do you consider bottlers to be? Because for me, bottlers are typically either the best team or the team with a massive advantage throwing it away. So did you think they had a massive advantage with 5 points, 6 points? Do you consider that massive 10 games into the season? Did you think it was all but over? Or do you think they are better than City and will throw it away? Or do you have a different definition of bottling? Just want to understand where you're coming from, my friend, on that one. Just want to understand where you're coming from. Arsenal fans still believe. Trolls online don't. Stop listening to those losers. Come on, you gooners. Big up yourself, Magnum. I like the chest. We've got the panel coming out very soon. We've got Mo backstage. We've got Luke. We've got Kel. Hopefully Kel's happy today. If she ain't, I'm going to kick her off. I swear. No, I'm joking. I see Kane with his baby. That was... is it little girl, right? Little boy. You can't ever tell when you look at newborns, but he would have done better on the pitch than most of those Newcastle players today, to be honest with you. At least he's smiling. Oh, there's Ash. Ash is sitting in the dark. Foden from the edge of the box. Steve Curry with the shot. Oh, Steve Curry good at 3-pointers, is he? I don't know. I don't get the reference. I do get the reference, but I don't know what Curry is good or bad at. I know who he is, but I don't know enough about netball, basketball. Terry, thoughts on Foden just overtook KDB for City goals? Listen, I think I've said it before and I'll say it again about Phil Foden. He's maybe one of the most disrespected and underrated players in Premier League history. He has been fantastic for the majority of his City career. He has been influential in multiple Cup, European and Premier League titles. He's been Player of the Year, and he's now back to his best. The way he has been written off by people has been a joke. When you look at the 4 pillars of assessing players and the only pillars that count, ability, output and consistency, longevity, you can kind of put aside, but he's actually been doing well for quite long. And then the most important is your influence on winning your club major trophies. Phil Foden ticks every single one of these boxes. You could even argue longevity because he's been doing it now, 6 years, 7 years? At the highest level of the game with the most amount of pressure. Get out of here. Anyone who doesn't rate him, you're a Philistine. You're a Philistine to the game of football. Get out of here. I don't want to hear from you. Terry, when Rodrigo comes back, we will win many goals. We will win many goals as possible. We miss him. Yeah, you've got him missing and you're playing very, very well. There we go. Right, I'm going to bring the panel out now to have their say on the show. Arsenal are forever in your heads, rent-free. Well, they're in my head right now because you guys are super chatting about them. Okay, so here, someone or something who that backs out of something due to fear to bottle it means to lose courage, weak mentality and mindset. Okay, so if City beat Arsenal to the league, you're not saying it's because City are better at football than them. You're saying it's because Arsenal don't have the courage to exercise their superior ability over City. Because your definition of bottling it, that's it can only matter. It can only count if City are just better. Is it bottling it? That's all I'm asking you, is to determine whether you think City are better than Arsenal or not. And if they are better, why is it a lack of courage that's stopping Arsenal? Do you get where I'm coming from? Like if me and Ash are going to have a fist fight and I'm a better fighter than Ash, but I get scared and I stand in the corner and just let him beat me up, and it's because I'm scared, I get it. But if Ash beats me up because he's a better fighter, have I bottled it? Like, I just want to get your definition, Ginger Bish. See, this is where it becomes hard. I feel like you've got to admit Arsenal are better than City, but you don't want to. Which is it? Come on, Ginger Bish. Give us the honest truth. I'm intrigued to know what you think. Right, it's time to bring the panel on. I've got to get my earphones though. Hello. All right, there we go. Sound is coming through. Let me turn that down. That's fucking loud. Very loud in my ear holes. Right, here we go. Kel's on the show. Luke is here. Judge Mo's here.
Hey, Luke could have showed up.
And we've got Kane on the show. Thank you before we start.
Babysitting duty.
Kane and Ash. Wise men say only. Oh, who's that? Oh, is that the missus? Hello.
That was number one. Somebody's not dressed for the occasion, so we'll go.
Okay. How you feeling, boys?
Distraught. I'm here purely for out of obligation at this point in time. It's a dark day for Ken.
Falling in love with you.
Yeah.
You are on it. How mad is this that your club has been taken over by trillionaires and a team that's been out of the top flight for a decade has come to the Premier League and within 1 year are already better than you? How much does that hurt that they're already better than you inside a year and you've got trillionaire owners? How does that feel?
Shit. Are Sunderland in the Champions League though?
Thanks, Kel. Back here. You can say more than what I'm going to.
Although Sunderland might be in there next year, they might take your chain. So.
Yeah, they're going to take. They're taking your chain, guys. What is going on? 1 year back, and they're already better than you.
Man, it was just such a dross game. Like neither teams looked good. Like Voltamado was convinced we were still shooting the other way when he scored that own goal because there was no way in hell he was trying to do a defensive header with what he did because that was an unbelievable header.
It was the only bit of quality in the entire game, and that was but that's on Newcastle. We should have brought the quality. And listen, I'm distraught. I'm hurt. and I'm fucking disgusted with our wingers. All 4 of them were piss poor today. Voltemade isolated, had nothing better to do. So yeah, one bit of quality in the entire game. Did you know that it was at the 72nd minute was the first time Sunderland had a shot on target, and they were already winning 1-0. That tells you everything.
To be fair, the only thing that I'm taking for this game, Sunderland didn't put our name up on their scoreboard. They just put us as visitors. So I'm just going to pretend that we didn't actually play them.
A lot of anger here, but any congratulations to Sunderland for their win today?
No, like I said, their first shot on target was in 72nd minute. They played the game. Fair play. I don't want to say they got the goal because they didn't. we put it in the back of the net. It was just a poor game all round. But I put that more on Newcastle than I do Sunderland. I'll give them credit. They hustled, but I expect no less from a derby game.
Yeah, neither teams wanted to attack. Like they were both scared to make the first mistake, and it was just a dross game. And Sunderland, they're still shit. That doesn't change anything. We were just bad. I'm never going to change that. They're terrible. We're just worse at the moment. That says everything.
It was actually from the real baby.
Yeah. On that note, I might have to go now.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get where you guys are coming from, but I thought Sunderland were the better team. I thought they were. They probably should have got the ball into the box a little more often, but you guys didn't really seem to. I know I was trying to watch 4 games at once, to be fair, so maybe I missed things, but I just felt there was something missing from you guys. There was a lack of intensity. There was a lack of bite. You weren't really creating opportunities in the game. I feel like you played the occasion more than you played the game.
Yeah, it didn't seem like really there was much intensity from our side, to be honest. Like even the Sunderland players, to be fair, looked more up for the derby. Like they were getting involved in more of the tackles. Clearly, flipping Dan Burns, obviously, like missing a few ribs after one of those tackles as well. So I hope he's going to be all right. But no, to be fair, I kind of wish there was a bit more intensity from our side. To be honest, I wouldn't have minded seeing a few more yellow cards from our team because it would have shown them putting some more effort. But it is what it is. Something to cheer for, I guess.
I would rather just seen more quality. I think we have more quality in our team than they do, and that's what we should have shown. I understand what Eddie's tactics were. I think it was poor execution. Like I said, you could see the way we were set up. We had Gordon and Elanga on the wings, and we just sat deep, sort of let them play to the occasion. I thought we did that. I think back end of the first half, I thought we grew into the game. We were the more dominant side, and then the same again. Obviously, they get the goal very early on in the second half, but again after that they then sort of sunk and dropped even deeper, and we were the dominant team. I don't understand why you think they were the better team. I thought they ran around a lot but didn't really do much in possession. Like I said, it came up to the 72nd minute where was their first shot on target, and even then it was tame and poor. So listen, it was just a bad game, a bad game in general, and we were poor. We should have done more, and I'm disappointed in the lads. But they've got to hold that, and so do we. So, listen, I'm going to go and spend some Christmas with my family because this is putting me right in the dumps.
I told them. I've said I'm not going to be seeing my family at Christmas because half of them support Sunderland, so they've just ruined my Christmas now as well. So,
brilliant.
Everyone's showing up wearing red at Christmas, aren't they?
Genuinely, so my uncle wears full Sunderland
of the game,
kit.
And I saw a half and half scarf. I was like, run that fan out of the state. It was a City Sunderland half and half scarf. I'm like, run that guy out now. Banned from the stadium. I was like, why are you bringing a City scarf to that, you weirdo?
I remember being at an event once in the States, a Premier League event, and there was a guy walking around and he had a Wolverhampton Wanderers hat on. He had a old, it wasn't Sunderland, it was a team that wears red and white. So who would it have been? That was Sheffield. That was Sheffield. Stoke. And then he had a Leicester jacket over the top of it. He had all 3 on at the same time. Wow. And I was I was like, I know you have free speech in America, but that should be a hate crime. That should be a hate crime right there. That shouldn't be allowed, like, to do that to sport. But I do get what you guys are saying. Very low XG game, big chances gone. I think I was just enjoying watching the tackles and the passion and the noise, everything. And I just expected more from Newcastle, really, because we are still looking at a Sunderland team that I think will peter out as the season goes on. I think we'll settle out and end up mid to mid-low table by the end of the campaign. And I do honestly expect a Champions League team with hundreds of millions of pounds invested into its squad that's been back in the Premier League and been a very stable club for 4 or 5 years now. I expected so much more from you in that game. And I think you got dragged into the occasion, as you say, and you didn't really play football. And it suited Sunderland because it nullified all of your quality. And yes, they scored from an own goal. I mean, I do agree with you. I think Valdemar tried to score that goal. I honestly think he forgot what end of the pitch he was at. It wasn't a defensive header. It was he did that. He headed towards the goal. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a really good goal as well. Like, really good.
By the way, I don't think Newcastle got dragged into the occasion. None of these players actually know what rivalries between Newcastle and Sunderland. None of them, apart from Dan Burn, who is a Newcastle supporter. Anybody else has never played Sunderland before.
That's just not true. No, because what you're saying right now is not true.
Has never played Sunderland before.
Nine of the players
doesn't know what Sunderland is. Bruno Guimaraes has
no
idea what
against
Sunderland
them
is,
2 years ago. What are you doing?
Yeah, but in one game in a cup, they don't know what the rivalry is. Come on, are we gonna sit here, guys, and just
Lewis Miley is also Geordie.
That that's coming from Germany does know. Oh, the rivalry. I don't think so. I think Sunderland drag you down to them, but I don't think your players were thinking about the rivalries. Guys, what are we talking about here? Really, you think Bruno Guimaraes or Tonali, when we join Newcastle, think about Sunderland?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
You guys like to say these things. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is a lot of bollocks, to be honest.
Hang on a minute, Mo. Have you ever heard Bruno Guimaraes talk about his love and admiration for the club City and what it means to him?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he likes the club, he likes the city and everything.
I'm telling you this now. If you live in Newcastle, which all the players do, it's a very unique city when it comes to football. You can't be there as long as these players and not understand the disdain they have for Sunderland and Middlesbrough. If you live up there, it's every day. You're talking about, you get this with Everton and Liverpool. You see it at Christmas every year because no one that's Newcastle will have anything red and Santa Claus in their house. It's black and white. Like it's so deeply ingrained. Of course, they understand about the history of their club and their club.
I disagree with you, but fine.
They do, but disagree. Why? How can you disagree with that?
I told you I disagree because the rivalries are built up, right? They are not in the same league. They haven't played each other before. New players don't feel like this. Sunderland have been away from the Premier League for a while. The fans feel it, but the players, especially Newcastle players, being away, I don't think they feel it that much. You know, you feel hostility. But come on, when anybody that actually plays in any away, most of the away stadiums, if you play in Leeds, if you play Brentford, you feel the hostility of the fans, of course. But I don't think the players went into this thinking about, oh my God, this is a big rivalry for us. I don't think so.
So you didn't see about 25 minutes, Bruno Guimaraes literally went in a massive challenge. Bruno
Guimaraes does this every single game, bro.
No, but
just had that crap. He does this every single game.
He was literally celebrating in front of the Sunderland fans. He
does this every single game.
There are some players that I can agree with what you're saying, but the likes of Bruno, I can't.
Maybe Bruno Guimaraes. I don't think maybe Bruno Guimaraes, but I don't think. Bro, Sunderland have not been in the Premier League for a while, right? I don't think these players know what the rivalries are. Like, I don't think so. I think the game, I think Sunderland were just better than you. I think they were more organized. I think your players really lackluster up top. Elanga and Anthony Gordon literally dribbled the ball to a goal kick without anybody challenging him. Elanga was not good. I think Sunderland were more organized. They played with the fan. I think they fed off the fans' energy. I think Newcastle just lackluster, to be honest, today. 100%. And it's not like, and Sunderland looked better than Newcastle. On the ball, they looked better, more organized. That's what I think, to be honest. Maybe Sunderland failed the derby, to be honest, more because they're coming from the Championship. Remember, I would think that Sunderland, coming from the Championship, playing Newcastle, the club in the city that is owned by the Saudis, that have the money, more money than them. Maybe that's how they think. I think they were more up for it than Newcastle players today. I think Sunderland were ready for the fight more than Newcastle, to be honest.
Newcastle also don't play well away from St. James. I've watched a lot of their games this season, and they drop off considerably. Like they lost at West Ham, like they drew at Villa when Villa weren't scoring goals, so they drew at Leeds. They've had some really lackluster games on the road, so I guess that's not really a surprise. I had the game on, but I wasn't really paying attention. Yeah. I did have it on. I saw the Voltamata goal though.
Great goal, wasn't it? Great goal. Kel, what did you make of Man City today? You know, a tough place to go, Crystal Palace, but you win 3-0. It's another clean sheet, 2 points off Arsenal. Break it down for us, Kel.
That was a great game. I woke up. That was the 6 a.m. kickoff for me, so I woke up a little groggy, and then I was stunned to see the news that Doku was out. That scared me because I thought he's kind of like the antidote to the back five that Crystal Palace play. So that got me a little nervous, but I think Pep got it spot on today. I thought we played very well. I know they had a few chances in the first half, but they were all offside, and we've kind of done that before. We played the offside trap, and it worked to perfection today. Because I don't know. I think the only chance they really had that was onside was the Wharton one off the post. But we kind of rolled back the clock a little bit with that first goal. That was very much reminiscent of a goal you'd see in the treble season. Bernardo creating the space by drawing the defenders out, and brilliant cross from Nunes. I thought Erling Haaland, I was like, I'm glad he's doing well with the ball in the air, because I thought his first touch was a little poor in the first half, but once he used his head, man, it just went straight in the net. That was great. And Phil Foden stays hot, and Ryan Cherky, man, what a baller. I think that, I've been debating on what the best signing of the season is, because I think Donnarumma at 26 million or whatever he paid, I think that's a steal, but Cherky at 30 million could go down as one of the best, Premier League signings of all time. This guy, I don't even think he's played 500 minutes in the Premier League. He has 6 assists, and most of them are to Phil Foden. He and Foden have this great chemistry, and you got to see it again today. It was just so fun to watch. I love watching the two of them. They just feed off of each other's energy. They're both these techie ballers, and I think they just love to just out-tech each other. And a lot of times it results in a goal for us, so I'm going to take it, and I'll give credit to the back line. I thought Diaz was very commanding again. In the air, something he struggled with last season. And I think he's going under the radar as being one of the better defenders in the Premier League this season. I know he had a rough season last year with some injuries, and just his form was poor, but I think he's bounced back tremendously. And Vardiol's having to come back too. He's had some rough moments, but I thought he was great again today. And Nico O'Reilly, I can't say enough about him. I love that kid so much. He's going straight to the top. Another gem from the academy. So yeah, just great win. I think I loved it, man. It was a great game to watch.
I think you speak a lot of facts, and on Phil Foden, I mean, it's great that Judge Mo's here to hear the facts about this man, so he doesn't lie about him in future. And I'm just really happy I don't want you guys doing well. Of course I don't, as a United fan, but for Phil Foden, I think there was so much slander, so much lies, so much nonsense about him last year. He did have a bad season, but he got absolutely ripped apart, and people were talking about him like he's never done anything for City. He surpassed KDB's goals for the club now. As an example today. And if they are to do what a lot of people are now predicting, and that's go on and win the league from here, it will be undeniable his influence on this team as well.
100%. Yeah, he's good, guys. He's a very good player, playing very good now in a good form. Because he got a DNA today,
that's why.
Yeah, it's good today, but the last two games, people were not talking about him. I like it when you bring it up when the players do well. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying, again, Phil Foden is not at the pedestal that people put him in yet. For me, he's not someone who's not a KDB level that will carry a team. He's not a Yaya Toure level. Not yet. Cherky today looked as good as Phil Foden, which is fine. Everyone at Pep Guardiola's team today looked good. You didn't bring him up in the last games when he didn't play well, and City fans said that he didn't play well
against Madrid.
Exactly. So people didn't say that. Even though you won, he was poor. He was very good today. The one that stood up for me today, to be honest with you, is the fluidity of Josko Gvardiol and Nico Gonzalez today. That stood up to me, to be honest with you. They were fantastic. This is a City team that looks very fluid today against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace looked all right until they reached the final third. And as you guys said, by the way, I just checked when Terry was doing his literally most of the XG from offside chances, but the referee just let it go because they didn't score. And they didn't call the offside back. Most of them were actually offside, and the referee just didn't call it back. Erling Haaland, by the way, scored in his ninth touch today. So he had 8 touches, and then the 9th touch, he scored the goal. Brilliant header, by the way, and a fantastic cross by Matthias Nunes, who Hamza complain about all the time and say he's not a good player. And today, I think Matthias Nunes was phenomenal on the right back side. Phenomenal, brilliant today, to be honest with you. I think the only 2 players that for City, like, I think City need to improve on is Reinders and Bernardo Silva today, because everyone else looks very good. But I don't.
Reinders was captain's performance. Go watch the first goal again and see where Nunes got the space from. Go rewatch that goal.
Who? Reinders or Bernardo?
Bernardo attracted.
Bernardo was okay. No, I think it wasn't fantastic. But Ryan Cherky, by the way, like, we gotta say, Pep Guardiola is managing him to the best. The guys have spaces to work, and he's starting him a little bit to the side for the line to protect him. And I still don't think that this City team is as better than Arsenal as people say. I think it's head to head, as Terry says. And I'm still like, people are panicking. Arsenal fans, maybe you should panic, because City are 2 points behind you, and they won a game that you thought they're gonna lose 3-0. It's not an easy scoreline away at Palace. This will actually do City a wonderful. Give them a wonderful confidence, to be honest. And they look very fluid now. Currently, the City team. By the way, in the first half, they had 73, 74 ball position, and they smothered Crystal Palace, to be honest. And I think City look clicking, as I said weeks ago, that City click. And if the defense is solid, City will go on and challenge for this league, and they might win it. But again, it's all about the defense, because the attack is the most lethal attack currently in the league. It's as simple as that. Chances, by the way, like Reinders should have scored. He had that brilliant chance from Cherky. Another big chance created by Cherky, to be honest. Are City smelling blood is the question. Are City going to go and win the league now? And Pep Guardiola is going to have 7 and 9. Make it his era.
Well, he might. I mean, listen, looking at City today, I'm looking at City's next 4 games in the league, and you look at them now. So I'm just waiting for them to come up in front of me, and it's Brentford and West Ham. Sorry, West Ham at home, Forest away, Sunderland away, and then Chelsea at home.
Not easy games.
I mean, there's no easy. I think look, I look at it this way. There is no easy game, as people would say, but I think they're very winnable for this City team in the form you're currently in. Because none of those games are as hard as Crystal Palace away. None of those games are as hard as Real Madrid. You've already beaten Sunderland 3-0 recently. So I don't know. I look at that and think to myself, I think you'll win your next 4 games, if I'm being honest with you, Luke.
Yeah, well, I think we will as well. But I think also, I want to give some credit as well. I think our defence this season has been very good. I think that's been down to obviously our keeper brought in Summer. I think last season you could just tell at the back we were so weak, mentally weak at the back, and we're very easy to get at. Whereas now we're a little bit more professional now, how we sort of deal with the ball rotated. Now we're not like, obviously Fulham away was a mad game, and obviously so was the Leeds game. But I think since then we've sort of been a bit more better defensively, a bit more controlled now, no rushing it. I think that's definitely helped us sort of winning games like Madrid away and Palace away. I think that's massive, and sort of like especially these big away games where it's obviously going to be tough. And I think it's been great. I think going to like Sunderland away and Forest away, obviously Forest beat Spurs 3-0 today, so Forest won't be easy either, obviously under Dyche, but I'm confident that we can sort of manage the game, get the goals, and win it. I think I'm so confident more now in this team. Obviously, midfield's a bit, but apart from Nico G, is a bit obviously questionable still. Some players, and still I'm not sure. Maybe Bernardo or Reinders. Reinders obviously has been a bit decent here and there, but if we could just keep the momentum going, obviously one game at a time. Obviously Brentford on home in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday. Yeah, I'm really proud of this team, and Ryan Cherky's a baller. So yeah.
Thank you for rejecting us, Florian Wirtz, because I think we got the player with a much higher ceiling.
Oh, you have. I mean, look, one of the things in the summer, I remember talking about it and getting so much shit from people, and it was I thought Wirtz would be a lot better than he is, but I always predicted Cherky to be the better player. There's something about him I like, and he does one thing which is just a preference thing for me. he's so much faster than he looks. He looks like he's always jogging, but when he actually puts the afterburners on, there's a lot more speed in there than people give him credit for. It's just the way he draws pictures. He just sees things. You ever watch those shows when you're a kid and there's an artist and he's drawing something and you can't work out? They give you like a bird's eye view and you can't work out what he's drawing until it gets really late. He's like that. He sees opportunities. He sees things that most other players don't see, but he's got the ability to find them. And he's going to be an assist and chance create. He's going to create a lot of assists and create a lot of chances for you. And for a team that has players like Haaland in it, someone doing that, breaking those lines, stressing an opponent's defense is so important for that. Hamza, what do you make of it? Because a few weeks ago you were on here after those games where you were conceding lots of goals and you were basically writing your season off. You're clearly looking at it differently now, 3 games later. What do you think has been the biggest difference in the last 3 matches for you becoming so much defensively stronger?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of issues. Like, if you look at the team, obviously we went through a rough patch. We know the quality. We haven't got the same quality again. We've said, a lot of City fans would agree and say, probably this is the worst City team that they've seen in many years, like 10 years, probably 12 years, the last 2 years. And this, the best Arsenal team you've seen in 24 years. So you're comparing a team that's gone down, that's playing players out of position. If Arsenal had Declan Rice as a right back and a young boy on left back, they can't even play Mouse Kelly. They struggle. They have to have 2 right backs. We have Matthias Nunes as a right back. We've just instilled a new goalkeeper who's trying to know the league. We got Haaland who's playing every single game.
Yeah, really young and inexperienced Donnarumma. Yeah.
We've lost our greatest ever player. Like greatest ever player is KDB. We lost him. But listen, you have to give it. There's one man there, and his name is Pep Guardiola. That's why I don't lose faith, because of that manager. That name, Pep Josep Guardiola, and he knows. He's so hungry, and he can instill this belief in that squad. Although they're young. You see, Ryan Cherki is 21 years old. He's younger than Oscar Bob. He's younger than Savio. When we signed him, people said, Forrest is going to glaze this league. Everyone thought, wow, we're going to see that this guy hasn't scored in 15 games. We're seeing Ryan Cherki miss 2 months already, and he's already the most assists in this league. So imagine he played 2 more months before that. He's already got... So I'm looking at this belief. I'm looking, Haaland, he can't stop scoring. 17 goals in the Premier League, is it? 38 goals.
17.
38. 38 goals in 30 games is mad. Like, how do you have 38 goals by December 14th? How? Like, it's unthinkable. This is stats that if I gave you end of the season, you'll be like, oh my God, what a striker. I need that striker. We're seeing Arsenal losing belief from Goycrest, mocking him in the internet, say, oh my God, we got a striker who's bad, get out of our club. We're seeing our striker, game. 1 chance, 1 goal. Literally, we're seeing, like, you look at that team belief, and Foden is now taking that responsibility of showing why he was nominated Player of the Year. And that's what the reason why we are coming for our players, because City have standards. A lot of City fans that in here have the word standards. They hold these players in the same high regard. So they know what we can do, but they want to achieve. City fans are not like any other fans. They will not accept just not winning anything. They want to win. We're spoiled, yes, because we're used to it. I'm sorry about it. We want to stay at the top. So when I'm looking at this team that people glaze over and say, Liverpool going to walk away with the league, or Arsenal are going to be the challenger. Then Chelsea fans 3 weeks ago, they were talking about they're going to come here, they'll be the main challengers. Everyone put us off, and then 2 weeks later.
Hang on. But you wrote your team off 3 weeks ago. You can't.
I didn't say
you cannot come here and have a go at Chelsea fans and Arsenal fans and Leyton Orient fans. Stop deflecting. Can you admit that are you now saying you got it wrong? You misassessed your team. You didn't see the standards. You got it wrong, Hamza.
Yeah, I did, but because I'd lost my greatest players, I didn't see we'd lost a couple of games already. We'd lost to Leverkusen, we'd lost to Brighton, we lost to Villa. So this is not a team that I'm used to it. Does that make sense? Ask anyone else. People say the same thing. We had to instill a bit of belief. And listen, Pep Guardiola said, give me time. Give me time. Even today, we've seen Palace had chances. It could have ended at 3-3. But you know what? Winning teams, what they do? they win games when they grind out that kind of game. And especially Selhurst Park. You've seen it. They're very tough to beat. And City took their chances. Palace missed their chances. I did think that Man City will not be here. I'm still the underdog, no doubt about it. People know we're still under underdog because our squad is, we're not losing Mamouche. I'm going to lose 8 Nouri. I'm going to lose, I think, 3 or 4 players. Arsenal are not losing any players in the AFCON. There's no players they're going to have. All the players are going to be here. They don't have any AFCON players. We have 2-3 senior AFCON players. So to us, I'm happy to be the underdog. And I just wanted them to fall because yesterday, Terry, was a red flag. Terry, you walked all over that Wolves team. You, Man United, that you criticized. You walked all over them. Yesterday, Terry, I was shocked. I said, how are you struggling in December? It's because exactly.
Yeah, a team with
They win the game,
2 points in the Premier League, and they needed 2 own goals to beat a team at home that had scored 2 points all season.
I will say
that is a red flag.
They win the game, even though they were terrible. They won the game. Like even team, when you play crap and you win, that's still obviously it's not obviously rather people playing better than that. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I feel like as long as they don't carry it on for themselves and get worse and worse and worse and dropping points, it's different. But if they actually use it as a chance to sort of get themselves up again, they can use it to obviously win next few games. I think we've had games up in the past where we've won like for like an own goal. What happens to a lot of teams? And sometimes you play terribly. And I'm just.
So Hamza, I just want to make sure I'm hearing you right. Are you saying that you're underdogs in this? You don't think you're better than Arsenal? You think Arsenal are better than you still?
I think they've got complete squad. Like if you give Pep Guardiola,
okay, please, answer my question. So you still think think Arsenal are better than you? Is that what you're saying?
No, we underdogs because we've got a lot.
Yes, I understand that. I want a straight answer.
They're the favorites for right now,
and that's fine. And that's fine. So, but Hamza, I want to make sure I'm understanding you, so I don't misquote you in future. Are you still saying that as of right now, Arsenal are better than Man City? Is that what you're saying?
They're favourites to win the league.
Okay. Could you answer my question directly? Are you saying Arsenal are better than you right now?
They're not better than us, but they're more favourite because we've got a lot of injuries. We've got Rodri and Kovacic out. We've got Doku out. We've got senior players out who are out of our squad. So Rodri is a major big miss for Man City. You seen Rodri last season. Without Rodri, what happened? We need Rodri back. We need Kovacic back. And if we keep it within 2 points, and I promise you, Terry, I've seen Arsenal. They'll capitulate. Yesterday, they're worried. Their fans are worried today after they see this Palace score. They thought we will be turned around because they've seen what. To me, if I was an Arsenal fans today, I have to make sure my team are winning because City, when they start on this roll on, they could go 15 on the bounce. I just need Rodri and Kovacic back. And I think, Kel, you believe we need Kovacic and Rodri back because Nico G he's tired. He's exhausted.
I mean, it would help, but we're winning games without them.
Yeah.
I think right now we've just dropped more points and Arsenal. So Arsenal have a lot of, they have a very good team. I'm not going to discount them, but they're favorites for right now, but that's just for right now. That could change.
Arsenal aren't the underdogs. Arsenal are the better team than City, and they should win the league. This is the first year. This is the first year where Arsenal actually have a better team than City. That we can actually sit here in the beginning of the season and say that Arsenal are better than City. The only team that is better than Arsenal is Liverpool. Liverpool are fumbling now. The only team, the beginning of the season, that are better than Arsenal are Liverpool. The facts are Arsenal are better than City. If City win this league, it's because Arsenal lost it as well. Yes, City have been better than them, which is a fact. When you lose it, that means the team that win it is better than you. But this is Arsenal's title. This is not the same old Arsenal that have weaknesses and stuff like this. Arsenal are the better team than City. It's as simple as that. If City win it, hats off to them. They deserve it. But you're not going to tell me that you say here and say the City are better than Arsenal. They're not.
I think it's clear every team has flaws.
Yeah.
Like City have consistency issues and they've got an issue in the midfield. Arsenal really struggled to create goals in open play. Liverpool's defense.
That's actually false. That's actually false.
Probably don't have the depth to stay in this very long. Chelsea
That's false, Kelk. False.
I think
Last month, Arsenal scored more open play goals than every single team in the league. So that is false.
Okay, so they did that for 1 month out of the year?
They don't. There's not year. It's
I
only
still
4.
think they
It's
will
only
struggle
3 and
with
a half.
that overall this
It's only
season.
3.5 months of the season.
Yeah,
They did that for a month. It's not.
In terms of that stat. So City lead the way on 23 goals from open play. Then you have Liverpool on 19, and then Villa, Brighton on 16. Arsenal sit on. I've got 14 goals from open play. But interestingly, in the last 2 months, they're on par with everybody else. They're gaining ground on everybody. I think it'll equal itself out by the end of the season. City might be I think City will maintain top spot on that because of the way you play football, and you've got this beast called Erling Haaland who just scores these goals. But yeah, look, I look at it this way.
We're utilizing our striker properly. Arteta doesn't know how to use Gyökeres, and he looks like a fish out of water on that team. So that is something they will have to deal with all season because they're going to want to justify playing him. But I think
I'm seeing the way they're criticizing him
look better
already.
with Marino as a striker. It's weird.
But a player they've signed only 3 months ago, I see like a major sign. This is a striker they've wanted.
All right, later, Mo.
This is a striker they've wanted all summer, and suddenly I'm seeing a lot of Arsenal fans have already interjected. Like they're completely thinking different of Gyökeres. He doesn't have the touch. He looks very stiff. He's the wrong guy. Yeah, they're already blaming Gyökeres as a problem already. And when you start blaming a player, your main player, main striker, then I see that you're worried. You're worried of something. I think Arsenal fans, they have belief in the midfield, but the attack is going to let them down. I think the attack.
It could. Look, I'm excited about this title race. It's going to be amazing. Look, guys, I want to say massive congratulations to you again today. Fantastic win away at Crystal Palace, and we're in for an amazing festive period of games after today's wins. No Spurs fans arrived today, so we're not going to touch on Spurs after their beating. They got a beating. I want to thank everyone who's tuned in. We're going to redirect you now to where we're redirecting you to. You're going to MHF. Sam's channel. Sorry, he's going live now for his show El Alwa. So go over there and support my brother Hamza, Luke, and Kel. Thank you all for coming on, and all of our other panelists. Thank you to our super chatters, everyone who's tuned into the show today. It means a great deal to us. Take care. Goodbye. God bless, and we'll see you soon. Peace.